you've always fought anybody, of course, but is it a little more exciting to fight the guy with Dana White privilege, right? I mean, you nailed it with him.
I don't think that is very funny.
No?
You do, maybe.
I thought that the moniker was good. I thought it was pretty enjoyable.
I don't think it's very funny. So, I mean, everybody's looking at it and they're smiling, they're laughing at it, but nobody's saying So, I'm the kid that's up here with Dana Brown privilege, I guess, or whatever the you want to call it. I don't think it's very funny anymore. And neither do you guys. I don't think you guys should think that's very funny. So I'm taking this weekend very seriously. So I'll kick this Dana White boy's ass.
Chip on your shoulder then? Is this personal?
No, nothing personal against Chandler, but I'm going to be real. I'm tired of the retaliation tactics from the company.
Last thing for me, then I guess for you, Tony, what is the meaning of this fight? Is it about proving something to anybody else or getting, what is the meaning of it other than just a fight?
Bringing the fans some noise, man. I'm going to be real. I'm an entertainer. I go out there and entertain. So I'm a storyteller, too. So when I go out there, I like to tell that story so that way I can send the message that I got to everybody else in the world. And when they realize that who I speak for and who I am about, I think it hits home with a lot of people. And I think it can radiate with that. And, everything's about growth. So if it's not about growth, I don't want any part of it.
Tony Ferguson is a big fight. He had the famous Dana White privilege line. We all got a big kick out of it. Everybody laughed. And then we brought it up to him today, and he doesn't find it so funny anymore. It seems like he's got a little chip on his shoulder, maybe a little anger towards the organization, I think, but maybe a little bit towards you as well. What do you make of that?
I'm sorry, Tony, but that Dana White privilege line might be the funniest thing that has ever been said on a microphone in the context of mixed martial arts. He's right. I am his boss's favorite fighter. I am Dana's favorite fighter. Dana White privilege is not on the line here. I've already got it. And no, man, it's all fun. I saw him after the press conference. It's all respect. He's going to go out there and try to take my head off, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. But when it comes to animosity, I got no animosity towards him. He's all business. Is it true? Is it blunder? Is it just words? Is it lip service? We don't know. All I know is he's going to run into a buzzsaw on Saturday night, and my Dana White privilege is not going to make a difference no matter what.
Does that have anything to do with the break? I mean, this has obviously been a very long break for you. Was that purposeful, or was that...
Oh, you guys are listening now. That's interesting. That's cool. This is why I haven't done any interviews. This is why I just kept my mouth shut for a long time. A lot of fighters have been keeping their mouths shut for a long time. You should ask some of the other fighters that have been fucking treated like shit for a long time, too. So I'm not the only one thinking it or fucking saying it or seeing it. So maybe you should ask them too.
Tony, to your left over here. Dustin Poirier said that he would probably fight the winner between you and Chandler. What do you have to say about that?
He's full of shit. I'm going to be real. He said he wanted to fight me many times, and then I gave the opportunity to him, and then somebody gave him more money to be able to fight. The kid's full of shit. Nothing against Poirier or any of the other fighters, but I'm worried about Chandler. We prepared for this guy for UFC 274 for many, many weeks. I brought in some really good, smart people to be able to structure all the stuff and all the talent that I have to be able to go in there and get this victory come Saturday night. So I'm a different animal. Hold on, brother, I'm talking. Now that shit was funny.
Last thing for me, obviously your track record speaks for itself, but are you thinking about rankings and title shots and what comes next, or is this all about at this point about just coming in and turning in these fan-friendly, amazing performances and then just seeing what comes next?
Man, I'm always looking at the future. I'm always looking at the game. I'm a student of the game, and now I'm a student of the lightweight division here in the UFC, how all the pieces are falling together, how people are in the rankings, who's out of the rankings, who are coming in, who is moving weight classes. There's a bunch of different stuff going on. But I truthfully think that everything in the fight business is up to time and circumstance. The reason I got the title shot back in May was the interesting set of circumstances where Conor and Poirier were tied up for a third fight. Khabib retires. In steps me and Charles Oliveira. Now, there's going to be a scenario on Saturday night where one of the two men in the main event win the fight and either retain the title or win the title, and there's not an MMA fan alive that doesn't want to see me rematch either of those guys, Charles Oliveira and especially Justin Gaethje, in a 5-round title fight. So we'll see what happens. All I know is I can take care of business on Saturday night. I'll break bread with Dana and Hunter, and we'll talk about what's next.
When you look at Mike, when you watch him on tape and you look at what Mike Chandler does, why is this a good matchup for you?
Oh, man, he likes to go toe-to-toe. He wants to fight in the box. He likes to get hit once in a while. It gives him riled up. He's a good puzzle, man. I'm going to be real, but I think he's looking past me. I mean, I don't talk to myself in the third person at all, and he kind of does, so we got to battle his ego first. Come past that ego, he's going to break. So, I mean, I'm not trying to pump myself up more than I have to because, I already did that during strength and conditioning. My physique is different. My mental's different. My whole mindset is back to where it needs to be. It's a varsity mentality.
When you say you think he's looking past you, what makes you say that? Like, what are you seeing?
I don't know. I don't really listen to him too much, but I heard he was talking about Conor McGregor and the next fights and everything, and that's cool. Good for you. You're going to have your hands full come Saturday night at UFC 274. So I'm going to go in there, have fun, smile. I'm going to throw some punches, throw some kicks and knees, put this kid in the clinch and put some hurt on him. So I'm going to make him bleed, make him see his own blood. I think he likes that.
You're always extraordinarily open and honest with us and the media and the fans. And so I'm just curious for your honest assessment. I mean, where do you think Tony is at this point in his career?
I don't know. He's probably in the hotel somewhere over here. No, I think, no, I mean, where is he? I mean, he's, the thing about Tony Ferguson is you can talk about he's lost a step. You can talk about maybe he's lost athleticism or power because of age or whatnot. Yes, he's fallen on some hard times with a couple losses, but just as I said before, when you're fighting the toughest guys on the planet at 155 pounds, you're going to take losses. The thing that makes Tony scary, the reason he is the boogeyman in El Kukui, is he's so unorthodox and so unpredictable. Not a man alive can emulate Tony Ferguson in my training. There's nobody at Stanford MMA, which I highly regard as the greatest gym on the planet with the greatest coaches. They really can't 100% prepare me for Tony Ferguson because you don't know what you're going to get. What we saw last fight was not what we saw the fight before, and it will not be what we see on Saturday night. It's a crapshoot, and that's why everybody's going to be on the edge of their seat. And might I say, dare to say that we're going to steal the show again.
Well, then last one for me. I'm just curious. Obviously, you've been in a lot of fights like this with Mike. I think a lot of fans are very excited for this fight because it seems like it's going to be very exciting. I just wonder, can you describe to us or maybe somebody who hasn't been in there what it feels like to be in these sort of gut check, blood and guts type of fights like I think a lot of people expect this one might be?
First you gotta go through fight week, and that's the best part. You show up, we're cutting weight, and then we have to do media, and then we have to cut weight, and you have to do more media, and you have to do photo shoots. And then it builds up. It's kind of like when you're building a fire rocket or firecracker, you know what I mean? You're building in layers, but you have to be very careful. And when you're doing that, when you're being really careful with it, there comes a time for celebration when you're able to light it and then making sure that it goes out right. So when you're doing stuff like that, I really deal with pyrotechnics and stuff. I have friends that do that. But it's dangerous. So if you're not being careful during fight week, you're not going to go out there and you're not going to have a good product on Saturday night. So come Saturday night, everything's going to go well, man. There's a lot of things going on in the world. So if we can bring a little bit of entertainment and a little bit of smiles to everything that's going on in the world, that's pretty cool, man. So if people like bloodshed, which is cool, but as long as nobody's fucking having, too much of it, I guess that's a good thing. You know what I mean? But like I said, come Saturday night, everybody's fortunate that you have warriors going out there and doing their job. I think we're underpaid, personally. I'm going to be real. I'm not going to say it too much. Dana said something the other day, and I put it on. It's on my phone. I think it was MMA Fighting actually reposted it, talking about how boxers are overpaid. I asked Dana to box. He said, "Fuck no." I'm like, "Why?" I wanted to go play. I want to go play baseball. I want to go do other pro sports. I'm an athlete. I grew up playing different different sports at a very high level. We're in a state championship football ring right here. We were 27-1. I come from Grand Valley State University as a wrestler. I want to go do pro wrestling. I got Brock, Uncle Brock, that's right there watching me. I want to go do all these couple things, but then I have this guy right here acting like a fucking drug dealer telling me I can't go and do this shit. I want to go make more money for my family. I'm watching Embedded, and I see what Brian T. City, and I see his agent up there, and he's like, oh, and he was funny because he made a joke where he was like, oh, you're making money now. And he talked about his agent, and he's like, where you getting your money? There's too many levels of things right here where I got pissed off at, and I had to kind of put that besides me. You make your money by winning. You make your money by showing up, winning, and having good performances. Right now, I guess we're getting paid crypto, I guess, huh? They're following everybody's suit. They're kind of waiting for everybody to speak up. They're waiting for everything else like that. I'm waiting for insurance. I've been competing in this sport for a long time. I took a bad fall at Fox. They took my title from me. I don't even have to go into the Miller Ayala Act. where an agent is not supposed to be competing in the same sport as you. But you guys know what I'm talking about, right? So, I mean, when it comes down to that, and then I'm going to get stripped of my title because I fucking took a bad fall in an accident, I should have sued. But what I did is I felt good for my company. I wanted to be the man. I wanted to make sure that everybody knew that I fucking could do this stuff without anybody else's help. So that's a little bit of a chip on my shoulder, you know what I mean? To kind of keep coming here and smiling and being used to be on a poster and to have that high value. When I saw that UFC didn't think my value was that high, I had to increase it in other ways, which was through social media. And through social media, I did it really organic, didn't pay for anything. I went through there and I had fun and showed my plants, and overnight I made 1 million followers. And even overnight again made like another 2. Then I stopped. I stopped caring about it because I was just like, you know what, why am I doing all of this? It's not going to do anything for me. But then I realized I was getting these emails from these people from all over the world saying that I saved their life, that they didn't want to kill themselves, that they found themselves in bad territories, that they didn't. And I'm not the only one. I guarantee you there's a lot of fighters that get these emails. But it's incredible. And so all those guys that are out there watching and listening, and you kind of hear me getting pissed off all the time, it's cool, it's fun, I'm all right, okay, we're going to be okay. You know, it's okay to get mad once in a while, but you have to channel that shit in the right way. When you channel in the right way, good things happen. You win championships. You go out there and you have victories, and then you end up building your fan base. So, yeah.
I mean, do you feel like this fight almost represents, in a way, his last chance to do this sort of title run and be in contention? In a way, does that make him more dangerous, right? You're getting someone who doesn't have much to lose.
I will say I do think he's probably going to be at his most dangerous, because you back a guy up into a wall, he's going to come out swinging, especially a guy with a champion heart like Tony Ferguson. I don't think this is an end-all, be-all, fail in its final type of scenario. I don't think we're talking about retirement for him after I beat him. I don't think we're talking, this is his last fight. I think Tony Ferguson, and in the sport of mixed martial arts, when you got a big of a name, as a fan-friendly and a fan favorite as Tony Ferguson is, and has the following that he has, he's still a large piece of this promotion at the lightweight division. He's a guy who puts butts in seats, and a guy that people want to watch fight. So he's got a career as long as he wants to have it. He will lose on Saturday night, in my opinion, but we'll see what happens after that for him.